you ever had any issues or challenges with any of your rental properties?
Good question. Unfortunately, yes.
Ooh,
Um, it's funny because I recently incorporated one of my properties
okay.
and never dealt with an eviction before.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of interesting. The second I incorporated, my tenant decides to not paying, and
Yeah,
so now I had to do an eviction proceeding.
yeah.
And what's crazy is I didn't realize that corporations are not eligible for L2 type of evictions. Is the L2? The one where you evict based off of personal use.
Yeah, so it starts off as an N12.
N12, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
terminate tenancy due to owner occupied
yeah,
use. So what you're saying is because you're an entity now, you're not an owner that's capable of occupying said property. And I guess that's why that application wouldn't apply.
that's right. But in all technicality, though,
Hmm.
rental property can be under a corporation.
Yeah,
It's because of the clause of the N12. It
got you.
says it has to be used by owner, personal.
Yes, yes,
Personal use.
personal
A
use.
company cannot be personal
Of
in the
course, because
sense,
it's a
right?
business in its sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what interestingly enough is it's only based off of the title.
Yes.
So if I was at least on the title in like
Then you could,
1%
yeah.
as the landlord or
Yeah.
whatever, I would be fine.
Yeah.
But because I put it completely under my corporation,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyways, back to your question. Unfortunately, I did run into an issue where my tenant decided to not pay.
Yeah.
It was basically a domestic issue. It
Yeah.
was a domestic issue. They have been living with, or they've not living, they've been renting from my property for a couple of years.
How many? Do you
I think they're
remember?
around 3 years.
So you had them for 3 years and things were
No
okay
issues.
prior?
Yeah, no issues. They're completely fine. Well, let me clarify that. In terms of paying, in terms of the,
As long as the rent was being
that's
paid
right.
and their account was up to date.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of our duties,
Yeah.
technically our
Yeah.
duties, they were fine. I was fine. We were
Yeah.
going fine. But I think maybe like 2 years
Yeah.
into the tenancy, we did notice, or I did notice some small issues.
Yeah.
I have a property manager
Yeah.
who basically manages the
Yeah.
property and the clients and
Yeah.
everything. He would, send me some messages, tenant A is having some issues
Mm,
and then because they were of my community,
yeah.
I felt obligated to want to help, because I think at the end of the day, there's not enough of us that are
Yes.
helping one another.
And it's interesting you say that because in the realm of business I'm in, I do see that a lot. I see individuals from different communities having preference specifically to their own community. And, I sometimes have to let them know, under human rights, you can't specifically say, I want this profile type as a tenant. But yes, I understand that, our community, there might be a scarcity of landlords and therefore make it a little more challenging for a community to find reasonable rentals and willing landlords and things like that. So I totally get what you're saying.
Exactly. So yeah, I brushed it off as not brushed it off, but I basically gave a lot of belie or gave
So
a lot
you
of
are so you're
leeway.
basically saying through the qualification process you lowered your threshold.
No,
Okay, so they still
no,
met all of
they
the
still, of course, of
so
course.
credit was ticked off,
Yes,
income
credit
ticked
was, yeah,
off,
yeah,
past rental history ticked
yes,
off. Okay,
yes.
so they were still qualified.
100%,
Okay, gotcha.
100%. That's one thing I'll never do. I'll never lower the standards just to meet community, you know what I mean?
Of
Just to
course,
meet
I've seen that happen.
it's kind of I call it reverse discrimination,
Yeah, yeah,
in a
because
sense.
you really should, no matter who it is, have a threshold of what is
Exactly.
qualified.
Exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, so a couple of years noticed little something.
Hmm.
The two tenants that rented, I guess they were common law.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I think long story short, it started off with just a couple of just domestic issues between the two.
yeah.
It was really isolated to just them.
Hmm.
And I think in the third year, it started bleeding out into the streets in a
Ah,
sense.
the neighborhood started
Was getting a
noticing it.
couple of calls from the neighbors,
Yeah,
just a little here and there in terms of loudness, just,
yeah,
them raising their voices and people hearing them.
yeah,
And I felt bad,
of
but
course.
ultimately, what else can I do? They kept paying.
Exactly.
And what I tried to do at one point, I told my property manager, raise the rent,
Yeah,
right? Let's see if we can
yeah,
get them out that way.
and nope.
Because my whole logic is, I don't know if you're as how many people are a religious person, but I truly believe that, it's all about how you handle the situation. And my logic is money is not as important as being a good person,
Of course.
like, and I just felt like my tenant or my neighbors
Yeah,
were going through a lot.
and you
And
felt,
so money
yeah,
is important, but this is not good money.
of
This isn't
course.
a good fruit.
Of course.
So I basically was like, okay, spoke to my property manager, what can I do
Yeah,
to get them out? And legally, I can't do anything, right? I can't even, they're paying. That's their
exactly.
one job,
Yeah.
right? They're paying consistently and everything. So I just figured, okay, maybe I can raise the rent. Fortunately, you can only raise the rent by 2%,
Yes.
right? Or based off of whatever is allowed.
Yeah, per the Ontario guideline that's
That's
set
right.
each year.
So I raised the rent by as much as I could, which
Yeah,
is nothing.
yeah.
And then they reissued me 12 new checks,
No
right?
problem.
So I do checks. They did checks,
Post dated. Yeah.
post-dated checks. And
Yeah.
again, 3 years, no missed dates or anything.
Right.
Couple of times, the tenant, one of the tenant A or tenant B, whatever you want to call it, they would be like, don't post this till like, don't check cash this until like 3 days later or something.
Yes.
Whatever, fine,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so that was how it was for a
Yeah.
while. And then it really came to a head at the beginning of the year. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it looks like the common law
Hmm.
just kind of dissolved,
Yeah.
and the two tenants decided to, I guess, part ways.
Yeah.
Don't think it was amicable,
Ah.
because long story short,
Yeah.
police arrived
Yeah.
and my property was damaged.
Of course.
And yeah, I'll keep it
So
as simple as that.
if I'm reading between the lines, not necessarily your situation, but there can be circumstances where two tenants cohabitating, if there is a fallout between the two tenants and if police are contacted, there could be a scenario where one of the tenants is no longer allowed to be on the property and then the other tenant is the one remaining.